Let's talk about Lebanon Correctional some more. Everyone knows it as Leb. It's in Warren County, Lebanon, Ohio, which is southern Ohio. I don't care who you are. If you find out you're riding there, you might be a little bit excited knowing the shit you're going to be able to get away with, but you also got that little bit of curiosity in the back of your mind. You got high-ranking gang members, people who are about that life, love fighting, like that action. Even those people who've never been there, it's going to cross their mind and go, I've heard a lot of things about this place. What am I walking into? It holds 1,500 people. It was built for in 1960, but it usually carries about 1,700 inmates. This photo is from when it was first built. The only difference would be now there's tables in the middle lining up, and that third tier has a guardrail so no one could get thrown over or fall, which has happened. People have jumped and people have been tossed over. This is also the only prison in Ohio that carries 3 tiers: first, second, third. I always like being on that top tier. Takes the cops a lot longer to get up there. They're usually very lazy and they don't give a shit. I'm going to talk a little bit about how my first day was, and I'm going to talk about the conditions of the place. So they get a $3,000 fine every year for being open because they're technically considered a condemned building. There's roaches and mice galore. The water has like a yellow tint, and the only reason they keep themselves open is because there's a plate shop in the basement. Inmates work down there. They make about $100 a month, which only $18 a month is what you get for an average state pay. I got $40 a month working in the Trinity kitchen at Lake Erie because it was Trinity and not Airmark. But that's the best money you can make right here. They only put certain inmates who they could trust in there. That's why they keep it open. 9 times out of 10, your license plate in here in Ohio was made by prison inmates. So I want to mention my bro Mike Page. It's my mixed homie from Youngstown. Me and him went through a lot of shit in prison. He was sentenced to life, but he got his appeal going through. I read his paperwork. He should be coming home because I seen where the Supreme Court was apologizing. I was sitting there when they brought him his legal mail. He's already been down about 12 years. I put a photo with him in the video prior to this where I did my photo album. We rode to 3 prisons together, which was very strange. That's not normal. And not only was it very strange that we caught up to each other for the 3rd time, I rode in on my birthday, 3/22 of 23. And then I left on 3/23/23, which those numbers was weird too. But I was sentenced to do at least 1 year because this is the disciplinary prison. That didn't mean I only had to do 1 year. It was stating that I had to do at least 1 year. People get told that and stay 2-3 years until they decide to drop you. But it's like a punishment within a punishment. So imagine all the worst people in Ohio who are acting up, getting in trouble, are mashed into one building. It's gangland for real. Out of 100% population, at least 90 are active gang members, dropout gang members. It's only about 10% of people who have never claimed a gang there. So my first day, me and Mike catching up, we're having a good old time, kicking it on the bus, but I was a little bit nervous. I don't know if he was. We get there, and as soon as we go into medical, right, there's a man down, a signal 3, and we hear keys, combat boots slapping. I'm seeing these big females that they're pretty looking, but you could tell they don't fucking play no games. They got these big ass long nightsticks that they're allowed to hit you with. There's no other prison in Ohio that I know of that allows them to carry that. Because this is disciplinary and they don't know what they're getting themselves into. So if a fight happens, they all go from different blocks. Let's say there's a fight in K King, right? They call it Killer King, or J John. They call it Jungle John. Them are 2 of the worst blocks. If there's a fight in one of those, people will come from other blocks, E. Edward, A. Adam, and they will abandon the inmates that are in there and run out just so they could go help the other block. And it might even be during the day where there's day room open, right? So let's say right now, imagine 100 inmates are in here, hanging out, having day room. Boom, you'll just see the 2 COs at the desk jump up and take off running. And now you're all just standing in there like, okay. I mean, there's cameras everywhere, but that happens all the time. They'll run, do their thing. They might not come back for 10 minutes. And the reason why they do that is their fights there are different. So it's not like, oh, there was a fist fight like in a level 2 dorm. These are off the charts different. I'm talking about 2-on-3s, 3-on-3s, 3-on-1s. anything like that. Weapons, locks. It's nothing to get caught carrying a you know what there. They don't care. You'll get in a hole for like 14 days and come back out. They ain't gonna press charges. They don't care because they know what it's like there. And they expect you to protect yourself. So it's not like in other prisons where people are scared to get caught with a weapon. At this place, they expect you to have a weapon. And when you're walking down the hallway, you'll get caught at what they call a checkpoint. Just like out here in the free world, they'll stop the whole group and put up a metal detector. And everybody's like, oh, fuck, we're smoked. Because one thing you can't do at Lab is you can't just go wherever you want. There's duct tape on the ground, and it's designated walking areas. You're allowed to talk and shit, but you're pretty much being marched to wherever you're going. And it's like traffic. So you'll be going this way, and you'll have another group, another block coming this way. And everybody's like, what up, showing love to each other, you know, throwing up their gang signs and just talking to each other, whatever. But you can't cross and see each other. You know, you might have a cousin or a brother that lives in Lebanon, but they're in another block, and that's the only way you see them is once in a great while. And sometimes they will also let blocks go to the yard together, but it's kind of a rare occasion. I mention that because in most prisons you have like a free range to just open the door, go outside when you want, go in this area of the building, whatever. Not at Leb. Another thing is their tier system is different with the hole. They do 7, 14, 21, 28. And if you get to that 28, you stay there. So if you get in trouble 4 times and then you get in trouble a 5th time, you're going to continue doing 28 days every time. Another thing is if you get into a fight in the block, it's 7 or 14 usually. But if you get into a fight past the captain's office, I don't know why they care about that, but they do. Which would be captain's office, that hallway, the 3 chow halls, the education, medical, you know, anything down there, not medical, but everything else I just named, they take it a lot more serious. I don't know why. Another thing is they have 3 chow halls there. This place was built to carry 1,500 inmates. It carries about 1,700. I've never seen a prison with 3 chow halls, meaning you can pick 1, 2, 3. They're in a row. For us, when, you know, the way we would do this was our guys, we would all move as one. So, like, let's say they called chow. We would, at one point, we had 21 of us in the block. And we would get together and be like, all right, everybody here, everybody here. All right, cool, let's move as one. And we would walk together to chow. But we had to go to that 3rd chow hall. It was our mandatory chow hall. No games, no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't, oh, I got my bro wants to meet me in chow hall 1 because he wants to give me something. It don't matter. It's mandatory. You got to be in that 3rd chow hall because if some dumb shit happens, you're expected to be there to help your guys. We might go down there with 5 of us and we got something going on with the KFs, the C-Dubs, Crips, Bloods, whatever. And you get down there and come, you know, HF, any other organizations, you get down there, come to find out some dumb shit happens and they just crash you out right in the block or in the chow hall. It was that type of place. It was war. Like, it was legit war going on. People really come home with PTSD off of that because it's very, very, very militant there. Everything I just said is exactly that. I might have downplayed it a little bit. And it's different. It's to the point where people could be beefing with people and they will run into another block, crash you out while your day room's open, and they don't give a fuck that the COs are in there. I've seen that happen to where the COs will run out to get back up because people are coming in with knives, locks, and fan motors, and they are searching this entire area you see right here for their rival gang members and trying to hurt them as much as they can before it gets broken up. And they'll come in with, you know, 10 more COs, spray everybody and break it up. In that chaos, though, this is literally like, it's like a war zone. So anybody seeing this and, you know, knowing you end up in jail, there's certain ways you can act in jail to not become level 3 disciplinary. Once you find yourself here, you're in the shit. There's no turning back. If you're affiliated with anything, there's no turning back. I went down this route twice. I was on count, got off, took my beating, chose to go back, got my 2nd beating, and now I'm off count. I have no disrespect towards my guys. They know that. I still interact with a lot of them. My point is, I did this shit, and it fucked my mind up. It took a long time for me to come back from this. I just wanted to talk to y'all about Lebanon Correctional.